Hello and good afternoon. My name is Kristen Vande, Bossche, and today my teammates and I will be presenting strategic recommendations for the FedEx company. I will first begin by briefing you on the current standing of FedEx. Then I'll move into an analysis of the general environment, followed by an analysis of the industry environment. Then I'll be turning the presentation over to my teammate Avery Bishop, who will then discuss the competitor analysis and internal analysis, key problem areas, and recommendations. So I'll start off by giving you a brief history of the FedEx company. FedEx was founded by Frederick W. Smith in the year 1971 as a trucking delivering company based out of Ohio. In 1977, FedEx purchased 7 Boeing 727 jets for their delivery service. FedEx implemented a new computer system in order to improve business processes in 1979, and in 1980, FedEx gave customers the option of nonstop transportation and virtually jump-started the expediting shipping industry. FedEx became the first U.S. company to reach $1 billion in revenue without the help of any mergers and acquisitions in 1983. In 1986, FedEx implemented its own tracking system for packages using a barcode to keep tabs on all the packages sent through their services. In 1995, FedEx acquired access to Asian regions like China and the Philippines for shipping services. And in 1999, FedEx launched its official website and began working with companies online for their shipping needs. In order to improve their online presence, FedEx teamed up with Amazon.com. And in 2004, FedEx purchased Kinko's and acquired the Watkins motor lines in order to improve their freight and shipping capabilities. They also purchased a shipping company in Europe to better improve their presence in the European market. FedEx also purchased an Indian shipping company and worked on improving their presence in Asia by engaging in a joint venture with a Chinese enterprise company. FedEx continues to acquire related companies in India in order to improve their presence within the Indian market. They also acquired a large company in Mexico in order to better encourage and improve their presence in South America as well. In 2012, FedEx acquired companies in Poland, France, and Brazil in order to increase shipping services in these regions. FedEx specializes in global shipping and solution organization and operates in the global market of shipping and delivery in Asia, Europe, Middle East, Africa, Latin America, and North America. They provide transportation, e-commerce, and business services through the following: FedEx Express, FedEx Ground, FedEx Freight, FedEx Services, FedEx Supply Chain, FedEx Custom Critical, and FedEx Trade Network. FedEx Corporation has differentiated themselves on the basis of offering their customers higher quality transportation systems and higher quality infrastructures in order to better provide for their customers. Now I will get into the external environment analysis that was conducted by my teammates and I. We will begin by first taking a look at the general environment that surrounds FedEx and their competitors within the air and freight industry. The general environment consists of the broader societal influences that affect all firms competing within a given industry and consists of 7 elements: demographic, economic, political and legal, sociocultural, technological, global, and physical. The first segment that we will discuss will be the demographic segment, which refers to statistics about a given population such as its size, age distribution, income levels, and ethnicity. Knowing the demographics of your audience is crucial for companies as it helps them better segment and target their audience for marketing and advertising. That being said, some demographics for FedEx's customers are as follows. As of 2013, about 10.4 million people use FedEx per month. The majority of FedEx customers are ages 25 to 44. That was broken up into ages 25 to 34, 23% of FedEx customers reside in that age group, and 24% are 35 to 44. Gender does not make a difference, nor do children in the household. Most of FedEx customers have an income of $100,000 or higher. That was 63% of all the customers. But education, college versus no college, is fairly even at 42% and 43%. And 79% of FedEx customers are Caucasian, 9% are African American, 3% Asian, and 8% Hispanic. The economic segment refers to the general nature and condition of the economy in which a firm competes. FedEx offers a range of services to more than 220 countries and territories in Asia, Europe, the Middle East, the Indian subcontinent, Africa, Latin America, and North America. In order for FedEx to operate globally and efficiently, it must understand the different economic conditions. Currently, in 2013, the United States has recorded its lowest index score since 2000. It is still recovering from the recession, the slowest recovery in 70 years, but it has the lowest unemployment rate as of April 2013 since 2008. The unemployment rate for 2013 is at an all-time low since 2008 and is recorded at 7.5%. Generally, the economy is recovering slowly but surely. According to the National Journal, 2013 might be a weak year for the economy, but the GDP will pick up considerably in the beginning of 2014. The industry of transportation is becoming more and more important as globalization increases. With these positive predictions, FedEx has opportunities to expand its business within the United States. The political and legal segment is an area of concern when organizations and interest groups compete for the overseeing of the body of laws and regulations guiding interactions among nations as well as between firms and various local governments. FedEx is in a number of current lawsuits which could negatively affect operations both domestically and abroad. In addition to the legal issues FedEx faces, it will also have to pay close attention to the new political structures that will be in place after the next elections. Areas of concern that could affect FedEx are antitrust laws, taxation laws or exemptions, labor training laws, and local educational institutions. The socio-cultural segment is concerned with the changing trends of society and the culture in which a firm competes in. A major emerging consumer trend is the recent value placed on the corporate social responsibility of businesses in the United States. Recently, social values and beliefs have changed, and it is no longer enough for a company to be profitable and reputational. They must also contribute and give back to society and the environment at large in order to be viewed positively in the eyes of consumers. Also, society members continue to become more technologically savvy as more new and innovative service technologies emerge. That being said, society now requires faster and more reliable services from delivery and freight companies. Also, freight and delivery companies are encouraged to be more and more accountable now, that being seen in providing tracking information for packages. The technological segment encompasses all of the institutions and activities within the general environment that a firm competes in that are involved in creating new knowledge and new outputs in the form of processes, products, and materials. From using tracking on important packages to getting packages to the consumer within 24 hours, FedEx has been utilizing different technologies to improve these processes. They have numerous jets and computer tracking systems that help uphold their reputation as a great shipping company. FedEx has been working with different technologies in order to stay a leading shipping company and as an industry thought leader. The global segment refers to both cultural factors as well as significant international events. FedEx offers their services to over 220 countries, which has encouraged global trade to flourish. FedEx has been involved with global shipping for several decades and has been continuing to perfect their processes in order to effectively ship packages worldwide. The physical segment is concerned with the potential changes of the actual physical environment in which a firm competes in, and the business practices developed in order to respond to those changes. Societal values now place an emphasis on the sustainability of the environment. It's crucial for businesses to build long-term programs contributing to the overall sustainability of the environment. In response to this change in consumer values, FedEx has responded by the release of their Earth Smart program, which aims to reduce carbon emissions through use of green power, solar power, and state-of-the-art emission-reducing vehicles. Next, I will go into an analysis of the industry environment using Porter's 5 forces. Porter's 5 forces consist of the bargaining powers of buyers, the bargaining power of suppliers, threat of new entrants, threat of substitute products, and lastly, inter-firm rivalry. To start off with the bargaining power of buyers, the bargaining power of buyers within the air and freight industry is low, making the industry a very attractive one for FedEx. Buyers in the industry are not generally in a condensed geographical area and do not form buyer groups to yield more power over the suppliers. Not only are buyers within this industry spread out in location, but the industry does not generally have just a few buyers that account for a large majority of the industry sales. And buyers are typically not making very substantial purchases. This entails that there's no buyers that hold a large amount of buying power over any of the firms within the industry, which again makes the industry very attractive for FedEx. The bargaining power of suppliers in this industry is low as well, indicating that this is an attractive industry. FedEx accepts applications from companies who wish to become suppliers, and of these applications, FedEx only chooses to buy from companies that are minority owned, which entails that the supplier is at least 51% minority owned and operated. Woman owned, which means at least 51% of the supplier is owned, controlled, or operated by women, or small businesses. They actively search for competitive prices and will never compromise their standards for service and quality from suppliers. The threat of new entrants into the domestic air delivery and freight business is slim to none. FedEx holds 49% of the express shipping industry. Also, there are little threat of new entrants on a global scale as well. The air delivery and freighting industry is one characterized by high startup costs, being that it is an extremely capital-intensive industry that requires a significant amount of resources to enter into. This, paired with the dominance of the major firms within the industry, creates high barriers for entrance within the delivery and freighting business, again indicating an attractive industry. As a carrier and distributor of physical goods, FedEx does not have much to worry about in the way of substitute products. However, in a rapidly growing electronic data transfer, FedEx is being substituted in that respect. Customers who might have used FedEx's services to ship a book or another printed product are now getting their products directly downloaded to their computer. Other than that, FedEx only has to worry about their competitors stealing their customers. Customers need transportation of their goods. Thus, FedEx does not need to worry about their services not being needed, but books and other products will not need their services as much anymore. The overall threat of substitute products in this category is low, again indicating an attractive industry. The air freight industry is riddled with several competitors and intense rivalry between certain firms. There are a few large firms who hold the majority of the market and compete most directly with one another. These firms are FedEx, UPS, USPS, and DHL. For the fiscal year of 2012, FedEx was a close second for the industry leader within the market. In 2012, FedEx held 49% of the market, while their most direct competitor, UPS, held 50%. The competition within the industry is characterized by aggressive pricing and high inter-firm rivalry. The major industry competitors within the air freight business target the same market and buyers, therefore increasing the rivalry between firms. Although the industry does have a large number of firms competing, there are only a few firms who have the resources and capital to directly compete with FedEx, this making the rivalry between the largest firms extremely intense and aggressive. Furthermore, the top competitors within the industry offer similar products and services, which in turn leads to an even higher increase in rivalry. This is an unattractive aspect of the industry. I will now be turning the rest of the presentation over to my teammate Avery Bishop, who's going to go on with the internal analysis, the key problem areas, and the final recommendations. Thank you.